Hey everybody, Scott Spratzer here from DocSports.com, opening salvo for Friday, June 29th, 2018. We'll get to a free pick in Friday's baseball in just a moment. If you've yet to become a member over at DocSports.com, easy to do. You click on the link below the video, set yourself up for a free $60 account. Well, we are 34 days from kickoff in preseason football, the Hall of Fame game on August 2nd, just 57 days until we kick off the new college football season. As promised earlier this week, every Friday leading right up to the college football season, we're going to break down a conference in college football and also have some odds to win, also maybe a spot or two in the first week or two of the college football season that you can play right now that we feel is worthy of a play. We've got one on today's report. We're going to start with our hometown team out here in Las Vegas. The conference is the Mountain West, of course, talking about UNLV. We'll get to them in just a bit. The favorite, if you haven't started jumping into your homework yet for the upcoming season, Boise State, clear-cut favorite. Most have them going 8-0 in conference play. We feel they probably will. They opened up about $1.70 or so favorite to win the conference. They are now up to like minus 250, minus 260 in that neighborhood. And again, this is a team, and I power rate every single team. They're all done already for the upcoming season. Right now, as of June 29th, there's not a single team in the Mountain West that comes within 7 as far as the point spread is concerned in my power ratings on a neutral field. Fresno State in that range, 7-8 points. San Diego State in that range, 7 or 8 points of Boise State if they played on a neutral field. That's it. Every other team would be a double-digit underdog according to my power ratings to Boise State. Now, when you look at what this team has going this year, they will play a certain game, a particular game I'm going to throw out at you in just a second, where they're going to be in between games against Fresno State and Utah State. That game is going to be in Albuquerque at New Mexico. Now, they're going to be laying a whole heap of points there, 3 touchdowns or so at New Mexico. And it might be a good spot as the season progresses to look to maybe jump in there. And it's a good sandwich play to go against Boise State in that game. But they're not going to lose that game. They're a possible go against San Diego State or Fresno State. We'll see where those point spreads are. They get both of those teams at home, which is why I think they win both of those games. And again, finish, in all likelihood, 8-0 in conference play. I've got them power rated to my top 30 overall in college football. Boise State, nobody else close to that in the Mountain West. Now, Fresno State and San Diego State, they're in that 7-1 to 8-1 range to win the Mountain West Conference. And shop around. It depends on where you shop, where the number is. So one of these two middle odds teams that I look at that can have a chance to win the Mountain West this year and upset Boise is defending Mountain West champion Fresno State. What a terrific job last year. A miracle by Tedford, who comes in and turns this program immediately around and gets them a nice conference championship Mountain West title last year. Now, what I like about Fresno is that they do have a lot of key performers back on the offensive side of the football, including their quarterback. They're going to have to make up for some deficiencies, some graduation on defense, especially the defensive line. They lost a lot of guys, a lot of graduation hits up front on the defensive unit. But again, they're going to have 4 games under their belt by the time they open conference season. So they have guys who can move in and get used to their positions by the time they take on the Mountain West slate. They've got Nevada, New Mexico, UNLV, Boise. Those are the road games. That's a 3-1 mark on paper for Fresno State, the way I've got things power rated. At worst, a loss at Boise, they should beat Nevada, New Mexico, and UNLV. Their home schedule, Wyoming, Hawaii, San Diego State, San Jose State. Again, 3-1 at worst. Maybe a loss to San Diego State if the Aztecs are playing well that particular day, and maybe Fresno is not. But again, all likelihood right there, those 2 scenarios, home and road, in conference play, you're looking at least a 6-2 season for the Fresno State Bulldogs. Now I want to talk about the team that's kind of on the outside looking in, but a dark horse for sure. That isn't bad right now as far as the odds are concerned, and that is the Utah State Aggies. They are plus 1,400 to 1,500 in that range to win the Mountain West Conference this year. I've got them going 6-2 in conference play. I've got them power rated only behind Boise, Fresno, and San Diego State. Here's what they've done over the last few years. 4 bowls in 5 years under Matt Wells. 18 returning starters this season. No Fresno, no San Diego State on this year's schedule. They are outstanding at running the football. Great ground game that they've developed under the coaching of Matt Wells. The road games include games at Wyoming and Boise. Those will be their 2 toughest road games. I think they go 1-1 there. In most cases, I would say they beat Wyoming on the road. They lose to Boise State. So if you want a sleeper, Utah State, not bad, around plus 1,500 to win the Mountain West. They'll need the top 3 teams in the conference to beat up on each other a little bit, but this is a pretty good Utah State team that's closing ground on those other 3. All right, that's basically what I'm looking at here. The favorite, you got to like them, Boise State to go 8-0, and again, they're in that minus 250 range to win the conference. Mid-odds type of team, Fresno State in that 7 to 8 to 1 odds as far as to win the conference is concerned. I know San Diego State's right on their heels, but I think Fresno State getting them at home wins out in that battle. And again, a dark horse at 1,400 plus 1,500, Utah State to win the Mountain West. Those are the teams that I'll be looking at to plunk money down on to win the Mountain West Conference this upcoming season. Now, best opening spot of week 1 in the Mountain West, September 1st, it's UNLV at USC. The Trojans laying 27 for the most part, and that number's dropping. It's down a good point at the Westgate Superbook. It's down a full 2 points at one prominent offshore book. Listen, UNLV's got a solid shot at 6 wins this year, solid shot at a bowl game. Tony Sanchez doing a nice job at improving things at this program year by year, baby steps, but they're getting there even in that horrible venue. Their home field, I just don't even get me started on that. Now, USC, I've got them power rated in the 15 to 20 range in college football this year. They're going to be good. They're not great to start the season. They should win this game without a whole lot of trouble, but 27 points, an awful lot of points to be laid when they've got a date at Stanford up the very next week. They don't care if they beat UNLV by 14 or by 40. I think USC, the way I've got it power rated, with that situation with Stanford holding their attention the very next week, I think USC probably wins that game like 42 to 24 in that neighborhood. Safe win for USC, pretty safe cover for the underdog UNLV Rebels. That'll take care of your Mountain West Conference preview. We'll be back next Friday, but again, free baseball from Friday's card. We're going to jump into the game at Texas between the White Sox and the Rangers. Dylan Covey on the mound for the White Sox. You've got, boy, it just seems like he's been around forever. Giovanni Gallardo going for the Texas Rangers. The White Sox coming into this one just struggling mightily on the road against right-handers. 6-19, 25 games on the road against right-handed starters, and they average just over 3 runs per game, about 3.5 runs per game in this particular situation. And that's why I think Gallardo's going to be fine. He's a workhorse. There's nothing wrong with his stamina. He's thrown 200 pitches in his first 2 starts, 102 in one, 98 on the other. We're not going to pretend he's put up great numbers thus far, but he's going up against a batting lineup and an offense that if he's going to slow down anyone, this would be the team that he can do it against, the likely scenario where he can do so. As far as Covey's concerned, bad road whip, about $155. Last 3 starts, his road whip is almost 170. Texas red hot, 9-2 in their last 11, scoring some runs. We think they'll do so here and give Gallardo enough support. And then the bullpen, which isn't bad. They're 10th or 11th in bullpen ERA. The Texas Rangers can come in and take care of the rest of the game. We're hoping for a good 5 innings out of Gallardo. The bullpen takes care of the rest, and we get plenty of run support. We'll back Texas. By the way, that line right now, right around minus $1.35 for Friday. Free pick on the Texas Rangers on Friday. If you like what you see, you can click on the thumbs up button or be sure to subscribe. We appreciate those who have subscribed thus far. Best of luck on Friday. Put them in the win column. My next college football breakdown will be next Friday. And, of course, we're here each and every day of the week with a free play from Major League Baseball. Put them in the win column on Friday back here bright and early Saturday morning. I'm Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com.